Good morning there, everyone. It is 7:45 in the morning. We are on our way to work this morning. I want to start by saying I hope you guys are having an absolutely wonderful day. You will find, if this is your first time joining me via one of these. So, like I was saying before I cut out, these are streamed live from my car as I'm driving up to work in the morning. So there's very strong possibility that sometimes I may cut in or out and out at the same time, or it may pause for a few minutes and we'll go from there. The actual video itself should run about 25 minutes long. So if you do see a pause, I will be back shortly. I will pause the content and I will start it back up once my little guy turns red and tells me I have strong signal again. So we're going to do announcements first. Is how we always start on these off. So announcements. First thing, yesterday we gave a whole bunch of free stuff away, so make sure you take advantage of that. We've given free courses away. We got a course about OA X-ray. Great thing to use if you are online sourcing, but the techniques we're going to teach in the course are great. I want to say thank you. I've got to get back to the message and I forget the guy's name right off the top of my head, but a guy has volunteered to allow me to use his video conferencing software that he has a subscription to, and we'll be able to accommodate up to 1,000 people in the live class. So I've got to get back to the guy and get everything worked out, but it's looking like we're going to be able to hold up to 1,000 people in the live class instead of the 50 originally thought. So a big thanks out there to the person who has offered that. I've got to get back to that message. I saw it briefly on my phone last night, and that was about as far as I got. So I'm going to warn you guys right now, I have the Bridge of Doom up here, which will take signal away. So we'll get started with the content. It may pause. When it does pause, just hold on a minute. It will come back in approximately 2-3 minutes after I cross this bridge. So I'll give you that warning every morning or every evening, but just stay with me and we'll go from there. So today's topic is networking. Yeah, you're like, well, Chris, we're in an online selling business. Why in the hell would you talk about networking? So I'm going to give you a few personal stories about networking, and then I'm going to give you some stories about how we've taken networking and expanded my FBA business, our FBA Master Group, and kind of built it up from there. So it's kind of fascinating if you actually take a look at it. But I want to start off by saying tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So 9 o'clock tonight, 7:49 my time, so in like 13 hours. Myself, Travis Ross, Andy Slammons, Nate McAllister, Cordelia Brake, Kristen Orstander, Jason Wilkie, my dad, all of those people that are going to be at the Rocky Mountain Reseller Conference, not all, but most, are going to be live on a hangout or a webinar tonight to explain their stories about networking. So today's theme over everything I'm doing in the video world is going to be networking. So I want to take you a step back before we go into the full story of FBA business, of how networking has impacted my life as I have, here's the Bridge of Doom, whoosh, bridge, if you guys lose me, I'll stop. But when I look back at my college career, you could say networking helped a bit in college, but it was really when it was the transition over to my first internship position. So my first internship position was with the Indianapolis American Marketing Association. I was a marketing guy. I had networked with this lady who was the collegiate coordinator for the Marketing Association. They had an internship position open up. I applied, got the job. Did some work for them, great, dandy. Went to my presentation where they were like saying, Chris did a great job, recognizing me, so I was looking for. And at that conference, for that meeting that I went to, a lady approached me and said, hi, my name's Leslie, and I just want to say I was really impressed with what they just explained about you. Would you consider being my intern for the next year? I was like, okay, sure, let's give it a try. That job was a very well-paying job for an internship. Loved it. It was with a Remax. So I was marketing real estate, doing social media, websites, that kind of stuff for real estate companies. So after I got out of that job, I got somebody sent me something for Apple, and it was a campus rep position. It was one of my professors. He knew I had an interest in that, so he sent me the thing. I signed up, I interviewed, I got the position. They flew me out to Cupertino. I got a free MacBook. It was all sorts of fun. So as I get to when I was actually graduating, it was time for me to start looking for a job. Well, I'll be honest, I probably applied 100 places. I was going to say 20 million, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. But I applied hundreds of places. And the only ones I could ever get to actually respond to me were when I knew someone at the company. So, the company I ended up interviewing for, I got the interview because a friend of mine knew the owner of the company, passed my resume along, got me in the door. That networking bit landed me that first job. So I was there for about 3 months, decided, oh, this isn't for me. I am not a fan. We're not going to do this. Left, started my own business. And that's when I really started to harness the power of networking. It was kind of incredible, actually. I was doing this new business completely, never had done it before, digital marketing consulting. So we were going to people saying, hey, we build you a website. Hey, we do this. Hey, we do that for you in the digital realm. And 80% of my business came from people I had built a relationship with, and they had referred me over to someone else. It was absolutely incredible. Then my latest job, my job at the ad agency, came because of my time as the AMA intern. The one I was telling you was my first internship. The lady who was the president of the AMA at the time remembered that I had done that and had offered to send a resume in for this position. So I did, and they actually purchased our business and brought us into the agency, which was phenomenal. And then my current position that I'm in with Ball State was because I had a friend from when I used to do student activities, or a connection. She posted it on Facebook about the job. I saw it, messaged her about it, said, would you be a reference for me? She said, heck yes, I would. You were great when you were a student. And now I ended up landing the job where I'm at, and I love it. So that's a little bit of the personal side of networking. Now let's get into the FBA side of it. This is where it gets fun. I started FBA because of my dad. He told me, hey, listen to this podcast that we had. You're going to learn a lot from it. Great, fantastic. Here you go. Not sure if you ever tried it or not. Started trying it, and I started building up connections. That was my big thing right away. Now, if you actually look back at the start of the FBA Master Group, we had a lot of people I started off with a group of 5 people. John, myself, and 3 others that, to this day, one was Dennis, I think. One was the guy who does couponing really, really well. And then this lady, Delina, I want to say her name is. We started a small mastermind group. It was just a bolo sharing group. If I find an item, I'd share it with them. We just kind of rotate through. It was just helping each other out. The friendship that I started building was with John. And I've got to tell you, looking back at all of the product leads and the friendship that John and I have built, it's been absolutely hysterical that it's grown out the way it has, but it was built upon mutually beneficial areas. So, look back, I would share, hey John, look for this guy at the store. It's a really good deal. It's at a Walgreens. I've been scanning all day there. If you can find him, find him. So I'd send him all these product leads. He'd reciprocate it. I'd get a bunch of leads from him. Oh my Lord, sometimes I'd get, if you guys don't remember the little Skylanders, the black ones that were selling really popular in video games a year ago-ish, they were the black ones, and you could buy them for like $8 and sell them for 60, because I find all of these. I remember going into a store and buying every single one I could find in like a 200-mile radius. I remember my brother and I running back to the toys in a fight to see who was going to grab them first. That was all because John shared that with me. I made probably hundreds of dollars off of that. Now, the one I can go to right away that John really helped me do from the networking side of it is he sent me the Catan board game. So it was a Target find. He goes, buy these. And at that point, I had no questions. If John told me to buy something, I bought it. I wasn't going to do all of my additional research, because if he had shared it with me, that means he had bought it and it was a good deal. So I trusted him with my life, or my money with that. So I purchased it, and I held on to these puppies for 4 or 5 months. I bought them for like $10, and then all of a sudden, 4 or 5 months later, they started selling for $60 a pop. I was like, yes. And he started sending me messages. They started to sell here. They started to sell here. He's like, yeah, great. Like, this is wonderful. That one connection with John has changed my entire style of an income stream over everything. One connection. And John was just some guy from Chicago that happened to be interested in a Facebook mastermind group, has now become one of my best friends. Especially, I've only actually seen him once in person. John would be the first to admit I've ate breakfast with him. And that is it. And we have been together through the entire, like, he had a newborn kid. He ended up purchasing a house. He lost a job. We've helped each other all around this stuff. And it's because we built a friendship. Now, where does that play into what you guys are doing? Because, I mean, we have 44 people on here right now. And you guys are trying to learn how to network. Not trying to learn how to network, but you don't know exactly how to find someone to network with. I like to think about it as like a big... Do you remember those like business card exchange things you go to? I hated those. Absolutely horrible. It is starting a conversation is the absolute worst. Absolutely horrible. Because you don't just want to private message someone on Facebook, or like in real life, go and shake their hands if you have no idea who they are. You may find some people who get enjoyment out of that. They are the really outgoing people. But I assume the majority of you have some sort of, like I do, fear of rejection. You don't want to talk to someone and waste your time. You don't want to piddle. You don't want to go in and say, "Hey, I want to give you this," and they're like, "Okay, well, are you a scammer? Are you trying to do this? Are you trying to do that?" You don't want that. You want to be able to build a friendship out of something that's not just an annoying guy saying hello. It's hard. So how do you go about starting those conversations? Well, especially in a world of like social media where we're always online. You guys are here right now. There are 52 of you here. The real intelligent ones would start a conversation in the comments. Start posting questions, hey, I really think Chris's point about networking is great. Who is interested in networking with me? I'm giving you a free lead. I'm opening the door. I'm giving you a cold call, warm lead. People who are interested in networking can post right now and say, hey, I'm interested in networking. Then you have a starting list of people that you can start with. It's brilliant, isn't it? So that's one way of doing it. The way that I remember starting to do this stuff was when I was in I want to say it was in Ryan Grant's online selling experiment group. I would post comments and I would start conversations with people. It's really easy to jump into a conversation, provide value. Don't just latch on and say, hey, this is cool, watching, following, star. Yes, don't be that guy. Be the one that's starting that conversation. And once you have that conversation started, that's when you can say, shoot them a private message and say, hey, I've been reading through your conversation. I appreciate the feedback that you have been giving. I think that you have a brilliant mind. Do you want to maybe talk a little bit? Start a conversation going, how did you get started in selling? You got to be that sales guy at a cold call open or a trade show that's starting a conversation out of nowhere. But give yourself a warm lead into it. Start by finding a spot where you can interject your idea, comment with someone, interact, and then you have built that relationship. The name's going to resonate there. Oh yeah, Chris is the one who has been commenting on all of my posts and providing really great feedback. He seems like he knows what he's doing. Okay, so I want to send a message saying thank you, Chris, for all of your feedback. Just wanted to get to know you a little better. Can you give a little introduction about yourself? I'm not some stalker dude, but I do want to get to know you a little better. You'd be amazed at the people there. that would take that, and you would never know where that goes. You would have told me that my connection, my friendship with John, the random guy from Chicago that was in a group, joined Mastermind, shared products with me, would lead me to a blog of over 300 articles, a Facebook group that's about to cross the 12,000 mark, and an audience.
Please say a command after
that has started all of this. I would have said, you are freaking crazy. There is no way any of that's going to happen. It's just a guy I met on Facebook. The same thing could be said about Mike. Same thing could be said about Tyler. Same thing could be said about a lot of the people, Brian. Anybody that I've met, Andy Slammons, for instance. Do you know how my relationship started with Andy Slammons? Does anyone have any idea? I had never messaged the guy before in my life. Never. He had that garage fire. That dog looks like a statue. It is a statue. Oh, sorry. His garage caught on fire, and I saw it in one of the Facebook groups. And being the person that I am, realizing that in a time of need, I can't go build a house. I have no absolute interest in that whatsoever. I can't build. I mean, ask my wife. I was fixing a freaking cabinet door this morning. It fell off. But decided that sometimes people who help others deserve something nice. So we started a campaign for him. I want to say GoFundMe or something like that. And we raised like $13,000 to help Andy with this house fire, which the insurance covered the majority of it. And it was just a nice little, hey, we support you. We're sorry that this happened. Great. So that happened, and then I started a conversation. Hey, Andy, I know you don't know me from diddly squat. We've started this campaign because you have really been a great influence in the community, and we want to say thanks by helping you out. And that freaking guy, that Andy Slammons, said, Chris, this means so much, but I'm going to tell you right now, we're not keeping the money. I was like, okay, you can do whatever you want with it. I'm just going to send it to you. He said, we're going to donate it to good causes, especially starting with the fire department that helped put out this fire. Without them, our whole house would have burnt down. They need new equipment. We're going to donate the money to them. Out of all of that money, he didn't keep a dime. Not a dime. Everything went to a charity cause or a cause of some sort to help the community. At that moment, I knew that Andy Slammons was genuinely a fantastic person, which meant that I wanted to be his friend. So we started the conversation. Found out that Andy lives out in Hershey, Pennsylvania, has an open invite for me at any time to come out and visit him, go to the park. They have the season passes, stay at his house. I mean, the dude works out constantly, eats steak. I mean, fascinating. And we've had conversations, and we've built a friendship. Now I'm excited to go meet him in person for the first time in a week and a half. So we're going to be down in Denver together. And it's just not something that I get an opportunity to do. I don't get to meet people in person that often. That's one of the downfalls of an e-commerce based community. We don't have a lot of face-to-face interaction. You guys are watching me on a car ride. I imagine, if I get some comments to back this up, that anybody who has followed me on Periscope or these morning videos probably has a pretty good idea of me as a person. You've gotten my personality, some of my beliefs, not so much like political, religious, that kind of stuff, but you guys probably know me pretty well compared to the majority of other people out there. Oh, we're getting a train, so you guys get to I get to stop here. I can read comments, so please comment away. I'm at a train and I can't move for 5 minutes. So, and by the way, just so you guys know, the comments on here, this is actually a live video stream, so I can actually read the comments, react live on the video, and see this stuff interacting, okay? So, let's see, look, no hands, I'm at a stop sign, or I'm at the train. So, you guys have probably got to know me better than the majority of other people online. You get to see me when I'm angry. You get to see me when I'm like super excited and hyper. You get to see me when I'm a little down. You get to know about my personal life. I let you inside my mind. I mean, some people have actually been to the bank with me. I mean, I have cashed checks and requested cash out of one of my Periscopes one time. People went there. I went through a car wash with some people one time. I mean, literally, we were sitting there and I was Periscoping from the car wash. It was freaking weird, but we did it. I mean, I've gotten gas. I've walked out of my car and I've gotten gas, and good morning there, Antoinette and Manny. Good morning, good morning. It's hysterical because the relationship of being a little bit open and vulnerable has really helped out. And like, for instance, Vicky's probably watching this. She always watches. Vicky knows that on my way home, since I do these in the mornings, I use my phone all day and I run out of battery. She sent me a charger and a charging cord because she knew that at this point I needed it. So I've got this really nice charger for the car. Probably didn't cost her anything, probably $10, but it was the thought that counted. She got to know me and she understood where that relationship is. And now Vicky is my example. Honestly, if Vicky asked me for anything, I'd probably help out in a heartbeat. She's done something to help me, and we've become friends like that. It's kind of weird, but it's awesome at the same time. I guarantee out of 48 of you, at least 20 of you could say exactly what my favorite sports team is. The other half of you could probably say what my favorite bands are. And the other half of you are wondering why in the hell that man has pants down to his knees. I'm not sure on that answer. We're trying to cross the train and he's walking and I'm surprised he hasn't tripped. We've got a biker too. I mean, like on a pedal bike. But you guys have built a relationship with me that may be small. You guys may not have a personal relationship, but in reality, you guys have knowledge about my stuff. You can message me, or you could say, "Hey, Chris, I know this is happening. I would like to help out in this way. I'd like to network with you here. Do this," and it would probably be a pretty warm intro. So, the reason we're getting to networking is next weekend, the Rocky Mountain Reseller Conference. I'm going to be there, and literally I'm presenting for like an hour and a half with my dad. If my dad will end up going. It's kind of a hit or miss right now, since my mom had her stroke last week. So we're not 100% sure if he'll be presenting with me or not. But I'll be presenting first thing Friday morning. I'm getting ready to put together, I'm going to have a talk with the guy today, a networking event for Thursday night. It's going to be $10 for appetizers and a drink. We're not making any money off of it. I have no interest in making money off of anything when it comes to networking. The relationships will bring me more money down the road than anything else. But we're going to put a networking event on Thursday night to have a little bit of fun. If I can't get a freaking place to host us, I'm buying a crap ton of pizzas and I'm buying beer, and we'll sit in a conference room there at the hotel and we're going to have a pizza party. I don't care what it is, but I have found that if you get people in a room, networking happens. So I'm going to do it. I haven't asked for permission. We're just going to have fun with it. Screw it. And then, because I have a better idea of where we're going to go. We'll see if it ends up happening or not. But we'll bring that into the picture a little bit later. I got to have that phone call later today. Then we're doing a brew bus on Friday night. It's going to be, I've got to decide if it's from 6 to 11 or 7 to midnight. We got 5 hours on a brew bus. Here's what I'm projecting to happen. I'm projecting we're going to walk into the first brewery. We're going to have a beer, maybe some munchy food kind of stuff. But we're going to have a fully stocked bar in the bus. And it's not even about the alcohol. I really don't care if I even get a lick of booze. I like beer, but I really don't care. It's about sitting there with people and having a good time. I'm basically trapped with 54 or 55 of my closest new friends. And we're going to have a good time. And the networking that's going to be done there, I guarantee, is going to be more beneficial than the 2 or 3 things I'm going to pick up from each presentation. I'm not saying the presentations aren't useful, because they're going to be. Everybody has chunks nuggets of knowledge that you got to find and you got to mine out of them. But when you listen to that stuff, it's great. But if I find a connection, like last night, this is fascinating actually. I'm sitting there at a birthday party for one of my family friends. I'm sitting outside having a conversation with a guy and find out that he is in the manufacturing, he's in the retail business. He's selling products for a company straight to Sam's Club. He's selling them to places across the world, and these things are really kind of cool. And after a little bit of a conversation, found out that they have they're all completely wholesale. They do no retail at all. But they're wholesale to large companies. They really don't do it they do it for like boutiques, but very few actual like other accounts. So what did I learn? I learned by sitting on a porch eating pizza and breadsticks in the sunshine, I made a connection that may be my new wholesale accounts. I found a freaking awesome website that has, they let you in and they let you buy wholesale. I'm sitting there going, well, why did I never find this before? Well, it's because I do some networking. And just a conversation. I've known this guy. I've played golf with this guy before. I see him at the golf course all the time. But if you actually sit down and have a conversation with someone, then you will find that that conversation may give you insight into what they do, and you may be able to start connecting the dots to figure out how you two could work together in a way that is mutually beneficial. Okay? That's kind of what I'm getting at here. We're trying to do something that is mutually beneficial for everybody. That's what networking is. It's finding friends, building relationships, and growing those to a point where you go, hey, you do this, I do this, let's work together. Not, hey, I'll pay you to do. It's that synergy of 2 or 3 people are better than one. And that's why tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the link is in the Facebook group. You can join the Rocky Mountain Reseller Conference Facebook group, and that's going to actually give you access to the event and the link for the Zoom that's going to be happening. We have 11 people that are going to be moderating this. Actually, 1 moderator and 11 people that are going to be, or 10 other people who are going to be at the conference. And all we're talking about tonight is networking. That's all we're talking about. We're talking about the power of a relationship with someone else and how that affected our business and how the best way to network is, how to do this, how to do that. And looking at that conference that I'm getting ready to go to, I have found my kind of way I want to help is I want to facilitate networking. I'm going to present, I'm going to facilitate, I'm just going to have a good time. And when you have a good time like that, you're going to find that you're going to keep building those relationships. You never know where those relationships are going to, what they're going to turn into. And all of a sudden you have your Rolodex of people that you go, hey, I know a guy who does this. Let me connect the dots for you. I want to be that dot connector. And that's why we're hosting these really fun events. I mean, the Brew Bus, for instance. We've got a 56-passenger limousine bus. It's going to be awesome. And it's fully stocked bar. Ignore the stripper poles. Didn't mean to put those in there. That just came with the bus. They're handrails, okay? But we have this, and the whole purpose of the entire night is you get a ride on a bus. You get to go to 2 or 3 different breweries. Beers are on me. At your first beer, you can't buy everybody's beer. It's 56 people, it starts adding up to a lot. And we're good to go. And you have a good, fun rest of the night. And you don't even have to drink. I have 5 to 10 people who aren't even drinking going on the bus, which is fantastic because it's not about drinking. That's what I can't get through to people. Events, most of the time that you go to, aren't about the actual event. I work at a university, a foundation. And we host events all the time. You know what? We have 95% of the time, the stuff that's actually at the event, no one's even interested in. Okay? It's an event is a purpose to drag people together and force them in a room to have conversations. That's it. And when you do that, then you start building the networking piece of it up. And that's where the true value lies. So, my challenge to all of you who are on this right now, who will watch this later, it's minute 30 on this, because I got stopped by a stupid train. Make one new connection today. I challenge you to go onto this thread that's underneath this video, so right down there, and comment and say, hey, I'm looking for a connection. I'm looking for a new friend. Who wants to be my friend? Pull good old Barney there, okay? Who wants to be my friend? Find out who that is and start the networking process. If you really suck at networking, that's your lead in. I suck at networking. I really hate this. I just want to do what Chris asked me to do. I want to make a friend. Start out by asking him personal questions like, hey, where are you from? How long have you been doing FBA? What kind of areas do you focus on in FBA? How do you do this? How do you do that? Those are where you start. Okay? So, I'm out of here, y'all. Have fun. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. And I will see you guys all later.